In the charming town of Roseville, where every house had a garden full of blooming roses, there lived a young woman named Emma. She was kind-hearted and always ready to help others. Emma worked at the town's small library, where she spent her days surrounded by books and stories. One sunny afternoon, Emma found an old, tattered book hidden behind the shelves. Curious, she opened it and discovered a love letter tucked inside. The letter was written many years ago and began with the words, "To my dearest love, Isabella." The letter told the story of a young man named Thomas, who had fallen deeply in love with a woman named Isabella. Thomas wrote about their secret meetings in the town's rose garden and how much he missed her. He ended the letter with a promise. "I will wait for you at our special place, every day at sunset, until you come back to me." Emma was touched by the letter and wondered what had happened to Thomas and Isabella. Did Isabella ever return? Did Thomas keep his promise? She decided to find out. That evening, Emma went to the rose garden and found an old bench under a large oak tree. She imagined Thomas sitting there, waiting patiently for his beloved Isabella. For the next few days, Emma couldn't stop thinking about the letter. She asked the older residents of Roseville if they knew anything about Thomas and Isabella, but no one remembered them. Determined, she decided to write a letter herself. She placed it on the bench under the oak tree, hoping that somehow, someone would know their story. Days turned into weeks, and Emma visited the bench every evening at sunset, just like Thomas had promised Isabella. One day, she found a letter on the bench. Her heart raced as she opened it. The letter was from an old woman named Mrs. Jenkins, who lived at the edge of the town. She wrote that Thomas was her grandfather and Isabella was her grandmother. Mrs. Jenkins invited Emma to her home to tell her the whole story. Emma eagerly accepted and went to meet her. Mrs. Jenkins shared how Thomas and Isabella had fallen in love but were separated when Isabella's family moved to another town. Thomas waited for years, but Isabella never returned because she didn't know Thomas was waiting for her. She eventually married someone else, but Thomas never stopped loving her. Emma felt a deep sadness for Thomas and Isabella, but she also felt a connection to their love story. She thanked Mrs. Jenkins for sharing it and returned to the rose garden. Sitting on the bench, she wrote one final letter, telling Thomas that his love story had touched her heart and that she would cherish it forever. As Emma placed the letter on the bench, a young man named Jack approached her. He had seen Emma at the rose garden many times and was curious about her. They started talking, and Emma told him about the love letter and Thomas's story. Jack was moved by the story and admired Emma's dedication to uncovering it. Vocabulary 1. Charming, meaning pleasant and attractive. Example: in the charming town of Roseville, where every house had a garden full of blooming roses. 2. Tattered, meaning old and torn, in poor condition. Example: Emma found an old, tattered book hidden behind the shelves. 3. Curious, meaning eager to know or learn something. Example: curious, she opened it and discovered a love letter tucked inside. 4. Beloved, meaning dearly loved. Example: I will wait for you at our special place, every day at sunset, until you come back to me. 5. Raced, meaning moved or progressed very quickly. Example: her heart raced as she opened it. 6. Separated, meaning moved or moved apart. Example: Thomas and Isabella had fallen in love but were separated when Isabella's family moved to another town. 7. Cherish, meaning to hold dear, to feel or show affection for. Example: she would cherish it forever. 8. Dedication, meaning commitment to a task or purpose. Example: Jack was moved by the story and admired Emma's dedication to uncovering it. 9. Blossomed, meaning developed or grew in a healthy way. Example: their friendship blossomed into a beautiful romance. 10. Symbol, meaning. Something that represents something else. Example: their love story became a symbol of hope and the power of love. Moral: 1. The power of love. The story highlights that love has a powerful impact and can create meaningful connections across time. 2. Dedication and curiosity. Emma's dedication and curiosity led her to uncover a beautiful love story and find her own love in the process. 3. Hope and renewal. The story shows that even when one love story ends in sadness, another can begin with hope and joy. 4. Remembering the past. Honoring past love stories can bring new meaning and inspire current and future relationships. 5. Unexpected paths. Love can find its way through unexpected paths, leading to new and beautiful beginnings. Thank you for watching and listening. Your support truly means the world to me. I hope you found the content enjoyable and engaging. I'm excited to continue this journey with you and share even more in the future. Your encouragement inspires me to keep creating and improving.